Okay, so let's start at the beginning. Body Balance is a liquid product made from organic whole food sources. It contains over 100 ionic nutrients and it absorbs at up to 98%. A product like this, a superfood, it should be a key component of a person's wellness program. See, in this day and age, people will benefit from saturating their bodies every single day with a superfood like Body Balance. Here's one of the reasons why. The primary argument for taking a product like this has to do with soil depletion. In 1992, the Earth Summit met in Brazil. They reported that soil depletion was epidemic on a worldwide scale. And the United States, of all the developed countries, had the highest rate of mineral depletion at 85%. That means that if a cup of spinach had 100 milligrams of iron in 1900, before the onset of commercial agriculture, today it would have about 15 milligrams of iron. Now, what do you think would be the ramifications for that kind of degradation in food quality? It's pretty interesting to compare disease rates. If you put them on the same graph with soil depletion, what you find is a direct inverse relationship. As the soil quality goes down, the rates of chronic disease begin to rise dramatically. And that's what we've seen in the last 100 years. For example, in 1910, cancer rates have gone from 1 in 20 deaths. So 1 out of 20 Americans would die of cancer in 1910 to 1 death in 4 in 2003. It's a 500% increase during the exact same time period as we've also had this dramatic increase in soil depletion. Now, is that a coincidence? Well, you need to be the judge of that. My feeling is I don't think so. Now, let's go ahead and take a look at the 2 main ingredients in Body Balance. The first is the 9 sea vegetables. There are 23,000 varieties of sea plants. These ocean botanicals are the oldest form of green plant life on the planet. Now, there's 3 main categories that are based actually on their color. There's the reds, the greens, and the super potent browns. So all of these 23,000 varieties can be broken down into red, green, and brown. Body Balance contains 9 sea vegetables from each of the 3 main categories. So one of the things to understand is that the ocean waters that feed sea vegetables contain all the major nutrients that your body needs for health. And these waters can't be depleted because oceans aren't farmed. So our sea vegetables are grown in their natural state in a pristine environment. They're also carefully monitored and measured for any signs of outside pollutants. All the product is third-party batch tested for purity. Sea vegetables are unique, and they're different from land-based plants because they don't have any roots. They're highly efficient at absorbing nutrients because they uptake the nutrients directly into their leaves through the process of photosynthesis. Now, if we look back from a historical perspective, the Japanese culture, they consume the largest quantity of sea vegetables of any culture on the planet. In fact, they consume up to 25% of their traditional diet in ocean plants. They are the healthiest culture on the planet by far. They currently have over 23,000 citizens over the age of 100. They also have the lowest rate of chronic disease of any culture on the planet. Again, is that a coincidence? My opinion is no. Here's a culture. They eat way more sea vegetables than anybody else. They also happen to be the healthiest culture on the planet. I think what we should do is learn from the Japanese and be consuming as many sea vegetables as possible on a daily basis. Body Balance allows you to do that. Now, modern science is currently doing a lot of research on all of these unique compounds that are inside of sea vegetables. These are like super ingredients, compounds like fucoidan, alginic acid, D-aspartic acid. These are just a few. The initial research just on fucoidan points to some health benefits that support things in your body like this: immune system, liver function, inhibiting blood clotting, lowering cholesterol, decreasing blood pressure, and also stabilizing blood sugar. So by taking Body Balance, basically you get 9 of the most nutrient-dense sea plants on a daily basis. I think that's a good move for anybody that's serious about maintaining their health. All right, the next ingredient is aloe vera. Aloe forms the liquid base of Body Balance. The company uses a certified organic Aloe barbadensis Miller. That's the actual name of the species. In terms of health-promoting qualities, aloe vera is probably the ultimate land-based plant. It contains over 200 active compounds. Aloe has been used as a medicine by diverse ancient cultures going back over 4,000 years. It was mentioned in the Bible 5 times. And now just in the last 50 years, over 500 medical reports have been published in peer-reviewed journals. So aloe shows promise and benefits in 5 main areas of your health. And here's what they are. Number 1, topical healing properties. 2, anti-inflammatory properties. 3, immune system stimulation. 4, anti-tumor properties. 5, gastrointestinal health. And 6, blood sugar balancing. Now I'm just going to talk about each of these real quick. Aloe vera contains 6 natural antiseptic agents. One of them is called salicylic acid. It also has pain-killing properties. It's used commonly as a treatment for burn victims. The second, anti-inflammatory properties. Since inflammation is at the root of a lot of chronic disease, consuming a natural anti-inflammatory like aloe is probably a very good idea. Aloe contains 3 proven anti-inflammatory fatty acids. So the anti-inflammatory benefits of aloe have been compared to cortisone treatments, only without the side effects. Okay, the next one is immune system stimulation. Aloe has been shown to have a stimulating effect on macrophages. These are like scavenger cells in your immune system. It also stimulates white blood cell activity. This is attributed in the documentation to the long-chain polysaccharides in aloe vera, and they're called BI3 and BI4. Aloe contains 3 anti-tumor compounds. Those are emodin, mannose, and lectin. These compounds have been shown to reduce or retard tumor growth in a laboratory setting. In terms of gastrointestinal health, aloe has been shown to improve regularity, increase protein absorption, and most importantly, it decreased the presence of unfriendly bacteria and yeast that can exist in your GI system, yeast such as Candida albicans. Patients dealing with conditions such as irritable bowel syndrome or Crohn's disease have reported seeing significant benefits by taking aloe vera on a consistent basis. The next one is balanced blood sugar. There was an exciting study that just came out in Thailand that actually demonstrated that patients who had type 2 diabetes who took aloe vera on a regular basis significantly improved their blood sugar levels and their lipid levels. What I've just done is given you a quick snapshot here of the science that supports the 2 main ingredients in Body Balance. Not only do these ingredients have a proven track record with ancient cultures around the globe, but they also have major standing and support in medical journals. The last thing we want to do is make sure that you avoid a product that could turn out to be a fad. A fad product is actually the #1 enemy of a residual income business. Let me show you a few things that you can look for in order to avoid falling into this fad trap. First thing, let's define a fad. A fad is a product that sells really hot for a period of time and then, of course, stops selling really hot. It comes and goes quickly, meaning within a few years. So if you have a product with a long track record, you're going to be guaranteed that it's not a fad. Pick any new product and you're basically taking a chance that it could be a fad. One thing to look for is it an exotic? Does the company make unsubstantiated claims about the potential of the product? Is it a brand new product concept? All of these characteristics mean you're taking a risk that it could be a fad. And here's why I have a problem with that. Why would you take a risk on something like that when the